What's up, guys? It's Tony, aka T-Slaps here, and we're back with a brand new draft pick video, baby. I'm your coach of the Buffalo Drills, and this is going to be our quick draft analysis for the second half of Crash Season 12. In case you didn't know, Crash only has two different drafts in it. We drafted initially with the megas from just the standard base ZA game, and of course National decks. And so we drafted again after 4 weeks of playing, and we included the new megas from the ZA DLC Mega Dimensions. And so now we had to draft again, and so we no longer have the same team we had. Of course, spoilers if you haven't been caught up to the season. We're ending the first half of the season at 1-3 after a couple of unfortunate losses. In week 4, of course, we lost due to the miss. Week 1, what happened there? I don't remember. I think I just didn't prep that well. I think I got beat up by hazards. That's what it was. And then week 3 was a very close loss, but I didn't feel like I ever won that game anyways. So really need to step it up and go at least 3-1 if we want to make playoffs, right? So we drafted a team. I do kind of feel like it's worse than our initial one, but who knows? Maybe maybe I'll feel more comfortable with it once I get prepping and playing with it. So without mumbling on much longer, we can get right into it. And the reason I am uploading this, I didn't do one initially, but we had to take a break obviously from battling to draft. We didn't draft while we were still battling in the weeks, so this is going to supplement our week 5 battle. So week 5 will be up next week. But anyways, I believe we got the 4th pick if I'm not mistaken. Where are the rosters at? So we got the 4th pick, and so there's really only 2 megas I was looking forward to grabbing in the entire draft, and that was Mega Darkrai and Mega Zero Aura, and neither of them lasted to me, so that was really cool, right? So both of them got grabbed, and so I was just kind of like, what do I want to grab? And so I grabbed Mega Lucario Z. So I wanted something that could compete with like these faster Pokemon, the Mega Garchomp Z and all the faster Pokemon. Like I don't know what other Pokemon there are that outspeed this Pokemon. You have like the Regieleki, the Dio Speed, and that's it. Everything else either speed ties with me with the other Z Megas and then the Mega Zero Aura, which is why I wanted Zero Aura. It outsped the Z Megas. But of course we didn't get that, right? And so we have Mega Lucario Z here. Unfortunately, it's not adaptability like you've seen on Showdown Pet Mods. We are Aura Break, so it isn't that useful into most Pokemon. It'll be nice for like the Darkrai matchup. We break its Dark Aura. I think that's what it has in this. Am I wrong on that? Where's Mega Darkrai at? Don't worry, if it's hard for y'all to read, I promise you it is also hard for me to read. It is Dark Aura, so it's at least like nice for that matchup, I guess. I don't think there's anything else that it helps against, but we have Mega Zero Aura or Mega Lucario. I mean, it's really fast, it hits really strong. There's not really much to talk about it. I mean, it's just like Mega Lucario, but just special pretty much only. It hits crazy hard. I don't think I'm allowed to use a Nasty Plot with it, which is like fine. I'm not really planning on clicking Nasty Plot anyways, but it just does crazy damage. It has a nice priority with Vacuum Wave, which is always nice. It also gets like extreme speed if I want it. I could run like an SD set if I really wanted to and just go physical if I need that in a matchup instead, but we're doing amazing damage regardless with our special size, so no real reason to do that. So after that, I decided I wanted to grab another strong Terra Captain like I did with Kartana. I decided to go with Victini, and I just made it Terra Fire. I debated between that and Terra Electric. Decided to go Terra Fire though, and I mean this thing, I think it's just going to hit amazing. You get the Terra, the Fire stab on it, and you just do 1,000,000 damage, right? There just isn't a switch into V-Create with Terra. So I'm probably just going to end up like slapping a Scarf on it every week, or Band, and just nuke something. Even like a water type that resists fire is just gonna get to a KO in most situations, I feel like. So not really much to say about this, just gonna do huge damage. Excited to use it. I haven't used Victini since like Gen 7, which is, I love using Victini and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Not Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, that too, but in Sun and Moon is what I meant, but also whereas I haven't used it since then, so excited for that. Next, I decided to get something that would help me with the waters for Victini, something that's like a ground immunity, and something that removes hazards. So what you might be thinking is, hey, that sounds a lot like a Rotom, right? We had Rotom last time, Rotom Wash, and so this time I decided to go with Zapdos. It does really, really good, of course, at breaking water types, and I get the Volt Switch and U-turn out with Momentum pretty reliably. I have Defog to remove hazards for my Victini, so I'm not forced to run boots on it every single week. And then, just does what it needs to from there. I don't think Zapdos got anything like crazy to help it out between here, like within ZA. Um, it doesn't look like it. I mean, we got Toxic back. Hey, Toxic Zapdos is back. Nothing else crazy though, but I mean, Zapdos is just super reliable, very reliable when it comes to walling Pokemon. I think Zapdos will be amazing, so that's really nice. So this is where I was kind of debating how I wanted to do the draft analysis. So I think after this, I initially got Hisuian Samurai. However, there's 4 Pokemon actually that aren't here that I had drafted initially, and I didn't like the way my team played and how it looked, mainly because I didn't have anything between the speed gap of Mega Lucario Z and Victini whenever I finished drafting my team. However, when I was looking for ways to patch it up in our grace period where we have 24 hours to make any change to the team that we want, I saw Roaring Moon was still available and I instantly grabbed it. It fits into that speed tier really, really well. Obviously, it wasn't the only thing we got, but it was one of the Pokemon that fit into it really, really well. It gave me a super strong Dark type and a Dragon type, which I didn't really like the ones that were still hanging around. But Roaring Moon, of course, is super great. Pairs well into the Mega Lucario Z because it just breaks the bulky Psychics that would take hits from it and just does a million damage. So Roaring Moon is really, really good for that. And Roaring Moon would bait out like the Fairies and the Steel types, which I can U-turn out on and just go on in Mega Lucario. So it's just really, really strong. You can run Booster on it. You can run a Dragon Dance set, Scale Shot, Booster Attack, Booster Speed, Band, Scarf. I mean, Roaring Moon is just a super great Pokemon. I haven't used it in maybe ever. I don't know if I've ever used it in draft, to be honest. Maybe when it first came out in this generation, but I'm excited to use it. I think it's going to do really, really good. My Grass type slot, I think I was going for Sinistra initially as a Terra captain because it looked like one of the best like free Terra guys because your free Terra has to be 8 points and below. I decided to go with Superior. However, because one, I think the main reason was the speed gap. It really helped with the speed gap, and then also for defog. That's what it was. It also helped with defog, so that's what I was really happy with. Just gave me another way to remove hazards. Of course, you can contrary, leave, storm, boost, and that's really about what you're gonna do. It's aromatherapy, which is nice. I can defog up on stuff. Glare is super nice for getting pairs on things. It can be a sub-seed set if you want it to be like a bulky, annoying set. Of course, with Toxic as well. You can run Taunt, Synthesis, keep yourself healthy. Superior's bag isn't like super deep when it comes to things you can do with it, but I think it'll be a good role player where I need it to be. And like I said, it does fill in the speed gap that I then had between Victini and Roaring Moon, so that helped me out a little bit. So I needed a decent fairy. There weren't a ton on the board. I think it was between Klefki, Floette Eternal, and something else. I don't remember. Almost grabbed Floette Eternal because I thought that'd be really cool to try out. However, its move pool is so bad. It really gets nothing. It's like Florges, but worse. I mean, obviously, right? But you'd expect like maybe it gets some cooler stuff because it's Floette Eternal. No, its move pool is absolute garbage. So we went with Klefki here. It can provide great screen supports for like my Victini and my Lucario. It makes up for me no longer having Ceaseless Edge on my Hisuian Samurott that I dropped, and so provides me like some spikes stacking, which is super, super nice. It also allows me to have a defensive steel, because right now my steel type is Lucario, and I don't want to be switching that into like a bunch of dragon type moves or whatever else I need my steel type to resist, like whatever else. So Klefki does really good here, and it acts like a decent fairy. I hate having to compress my fairy into also being Klefki, because I did end up grabbing another fairy, obviously, as you can see, but I can't complain too much. I think it's going to be good at what it needs to. Great roll compression. And made it to where I didn't have to grab some like really bad bottom tiered Pokemon. So this ended up working out for me. Next I grabbed Seismitoad. This was honestly just like the best water type around, and also acts as a ground type because I didn't have a ground type either. So once again, just roll compression for my team. Immune to water type moves with water absorb, which is super nice. Gives me another rocker because I do have one in Cofagrigus. I guess spoilers, but just having another one is super nice. And it gets like a lot of coverage moves. Of course, it gets like of course, it's stabs with water and ground, and it can be both physical and special. It gets knockoff, it gets grass knot, it gets ice punch, it gets poison jab and sludge wave, and maybe sludge bomb. Yeah, sludge bomb as well. It can toxic things. Yeah, it's just really nice. This move pool is really deep, so you really have to be careful with what you bring into Seismitoad because I might be carrying a coverage move that can hit your Pokemon and do a ton of damage. So I think Seismitoad's good once again for roll compression. Next we got Cofagrigus. Shout out to Bash for putting me on Cofagrigus. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to grab and how I wanted to fix my team at that point. And I was talking to him about it, and he brought up Cofagrigus. He brought it up with a different mon, with a different plan, but I didn't end up going with that one. But Cofagrigus is something that I didn't have on my radar, but once he brought it up, I was like, wow, that's actually like such an insane mon. Like, it gets so much utility now. It gets parting shot now. It gets stealth rocks now. So it's not like stuck doing nothing. It like can switch out reliably. It has a great physical and SPDF stat with pain split to make up for like its low HP stats, so you can stay healthy. It gets a ton of moves. You can knock off. You can memento. You can Destiny Bond. I mean, body press plus iron defense, right? This thing's move pool is crazy. T-Wave and Willow, it's crazy. Cofagrigus can do a lot for what I need for this team. I really wish I was able to Terra it. Unfortunately, it's just too expensive, but it would have been a great Terra captain. But I'm really excited with Cofagrigus. I'm excited to use it. I think it's gonna put in a lot of work. I'm glad that Bash brought it up to me, because this is a Pokemon that I think is gonna put on a ton of work defensively and just be able to spread status, do everything I need to. Also gets T-Spikes, which is really helpful too. Right? You get T-Spikes still? I know you used to. Yeah, okay, you do. That's awesome. And lastly, I decided to grab Slowbro Galar. Wanted a grounded poison, something to help me with some fairy types, because right now it's really Klefki, the only thing that resists fairies. And those might be able to just boost past my Klefki, depending on what it is. So Slowbro Galar helps there. It can absorb T-Spikes with its poison typing. The Psychic type doesn't really do too much for me, but it helps out on that. And this is also a really strong Terra captain. I can Terra it into whatever defensive type I needed to. If I want to go like Terra Water, Fairy, whatever else I need to do, Slowbro Galar can do it. So it's really nice. Of course, does what you expect it to do with the regen thing. There you go. If I want to be sneaky, I can run Quick Draw. Probably just going to go Regenerate every week, to be honest. But of course, you can like Calm Mind, you get Iron Defense, Nasty Plot. So you can set up a ton. You get Gel Sidearm, you get Sludge Wave, you get a ton of coverage move, T-Wave, Yawn. There's a ton you can do with this thing. If I want to go OTR, I can go OTR, Disable Curse. This thing's amazing, right? It has a ton of options when it comes to helping out. I think I got a bunch of budget defensive mons this time around. So like Seismitoad, Cofagrigus, and Slowbro Galar are like budget bulky mons, whereas someone like maybe a Yukir has Tinglu and Screamtail, where they spend a bunch of budget on their defense. Not to say that's like a bad idea or anything, right? But I think we honestly got a lot of value out of these three bottom picks. So I'm really happy with what we got there. That's going to be our team for the second half of the season. Let me know what you guys think of the team. I really hope we're able to bounce back and make playoffs, because I really want to use my team one again, but also just prove like, hey, I still can come back from this. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, hit that like button and subscribe. Next week we'll have week 5 up. Of course, on the weekends we still got BBR going up, so you can go subscribe, check out 2 different draft leagues on the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.